All right. If your answer to the title of this video is a certified yes, you're lying to yourself. Don't do that. Let's talk about it. A lot has been covered on ESBC from creators to Steel City themselves, and yeah, we are all more than ready for it after seeing the improvements from one update to the next. But if they didn't show you another thing from now until release, are you buying the game? My answer to that is yes, 100%. I'm buying the game. And I believe a lot of you would too. And that's based on a combination of what we've all lived through. The lack of a quality, true to form boxing game for the past 11 years, and ultimately the hope of what ESBC can deliver. But buying the game doesn't mean you trust them. When the game comes out and it has bugs or animations aren't the way you like, or a fighter doesn't fight or look how you believe they should, will you just say, F it, I'm out? That's what a lot of players did with Marvel's Avengers. ESBC has made promises and bold statements like they want to be the 2K of boxing. But if their plans are to reach that level, there are loads of questions that need to be answered. But it will take an initial career mode and all of us to get some gameplay action in before we even know if those aspirations are close to a realization. But let's lean into one aspect of being the 2K of boxing. I would want to know how often fighter ratings will be updated, and how would that affect those that compete competitively? As some of you know, 2K updates the player ratings throughout the year. So let's take Josh Warrington for instance. We saw in the video how he rated himself. His overall rating is not what ESBC came up with, but for argument's sake, let's say it was. He got knocked out 2 fights ago, and in the rematch it didn't look like it was going to end much better, but it ended in a no contest. Either way, would his chin rating drop? Would his defense drop? What else would drop? And players would need to know when the updates are happening. Sticking with the example, if I planned on using Warrington competitively, how much of a disadvantage does that put me if I had been using him previously in a tournament? What y'all think about a scenario like that? Would you be okay with the ratings being adjusted on a fighter you're taking into a tournament just before you head into a tournament? Could you just move to another fighter? I don't think it would be that simple. The way they're mapping out the uniqueness of each fighter, that could be an issue. Now, I never played competitively, but if I wanted to start with this game, I'm thinking that would be something that would have to be addressed at some point. The only way around it is to have all fighters have even stats, and that's as far from realistic as it gets, and that's not what ESBC is all about. So I don't want to see that. But moving on and back to the subject question. Here's why you're wrong if you answered yes right off the bat. They don't need our trust to get our money. They have the second most important part of us besides our money, and that's our interest. It's not about trust. It's about interest. And as long as they keep that, they'll get our money. Trust won't be needed until after release, when we find out how the game operates, how they handle the needed patches for the game, adjusting to consumer demands such as DLC costs and releases, crossplay, and any other issues that come up. That's when trust will be earned. But they don't need it now. But to wrap it up, I have a couple questions for you guys. Is what ESBC has shown, along with the promises of revolutionary footwork, realism, a feint system, customizations, and for the competitive side, an actual EWBC belt, and I'm sure some monetary prizes, is that enough to gain trust in your eyes? Or is it just gaining your interest? For me, I can't say they gain my complete trust, but they 100% have my interest. And frankly, for a business, that's all they need. Let me know your thoughts. This was just to keep the conversation going until we've all been exposed to more information that should be coming next week from the 6 content creators after they get back from that event. So thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out.